Hi students, today we are going to discuss about flight adaptation in birds. This is meant for BSc Zoology Honours Part 2 as well as for BSc Zoology Subsidiary Part 2. Birds have originated from diapsid reptiles. These are feathered, bipedal, amniotic, homeothermic vertebrates. Bird's body have underwent several morphological, anatomical, physiological and biochemical modifications that have made them suitable for flight mode of life. You should appreciate the fact that flight mode of life is highly energy extensive just because of several challenges being faced by birds in the air. We need now to focus on the challenges and how the birds have coped up with those challenges. Let us now first focus on the challenges. The first challenge is that of weight. This weight is basically the pull of gravity towards the earth surface, which opposes the locomotion or flight mode of life of birds. The second challenge is drag. This drag is basically the frictional force applied by air against the locomotion or direction of locomotion of birds. Now let us focus on how birds have tried to cope up with those challenges. First is to tackle the force of weight, the birds applies lift. Lift implies all sorts of pressure and force applied by the bird's body, which pulls the bird's body in the air and keeps it just flapping or gliding or soaring against the pull of gravity. The second idea with bird is thrust. This very thrust is basically all those kind of forces that bird's body applies to pull the body towards the direction of motion and against the direction of frictional forces of the air. The bird's body has underwent several morphological, anatomical, physiological and biochemical modifications to cope up with those challenges being faced by them when they are in flight mode of life. The first way is morphological, and here you can see that of the shape of bird's body, that is spindle and streamlined shape. This very shape is that of the shape of fishes, and this very shape helps to reduce the drag of friction or reduce the force of friction which is being applied by air against the direction of locomotion of bird's body. Secondly, with respect to morphological modifications, here you can see the entire body of the bird is covered with that of the feathers. The feathers in wings or forelimbs is called remiges. The feathers in the tail region is called rectrices, and these feathers, and throughout the body there is presence of contour feathers. These feathers mainly help in three things. The first is being lightweight, they reduce the weight of the body. Secondly, they have interlocking arrangement of barb and barbules, thereby they help in reducing the frictional drag applied by that of the air. And thirdly, they also helps in insulation. It is being believed that the origin of feathers was meant to provide insulation, that is to prevent loss of heat, because heat loss was also a very important problem being faced by up to reptiles. Vertebrates were basically heterothermic, or you can say poikilothermic or cold blooded animals, but birds and mammals are homeothermic, and feathers and hairs, feathers in case of birds and hairs in case of mammals have played important role in providing them homeothermy. Homeothermy is important because homeothermy ensures constant body temperature and ensures high rate of energy production in the body as well. The third very morphological modification you can see is presence of that of beak. This beak is devoid of any teeth. And the jaw of a bird is devoid of any muscles, because the jaw of bird doesn't perform any kind of chewing or digestion activity. All kind of chewing and grinding activity is being carried in the digestive system. There is presence of gizzard over there, and which performs the very idea of grinding and chewing of food. So this very method just reduces the body weight and helps the bird to lift up the body in the air. You must acknowledge the fact that birds fly on the principle of Bernoulli's theorem, Bernoulli's theorem of aerodynamics, and it is heavier than air machine. Now here you can see the very interlocking arrangement of feathers. There are presence of barb and barbules which presents an interlocking arrangement, thereby reduces the frictional forces. This is one of the remiges or wing feather. Now let us focus on the endoskeleton system of birds. Now we have came to the anatomical modifications. We must acknowledge the very anatomical arrangement or the endoskeleton arrangement in case of birds. This very arrangement ensures light weight of the body, also provides a suitable explanation of how the various kinds of the flight muscles have been arranged throughout the body and how they just get skeleton support to just have provide thrust and force against that of the air pull. Endoskeleton of bird body is made bony, and the bones are long bones or any kind of bones are devoid of any marrow, so called pneumatic bones. Here you can see elaborate pelvic girdle. Here you can see elaborate pelvic girdle, particularly that of the ilium, which helps to attach for the attachment of that of the legs, leg muscles, and leg muscles are very much important basically for taking off the flight as well as during landing. Second, here you can see there is presence of sternum in the keel in the sternum region. This very keel is highly elaborate and plexure shaped, and this very keel is important for providing a site for attachment of flight muscles. Thirdly, there is also pygostyle fused caudal vertebrae. These fused caudal vertebrae or pygostyle is basically meant for providing attachment for the caudal muscles and the rectrices. There is also elaborate humerus bone, that is the forearm bone, and this forearm bone is elaborate, helps to for the attachment of that of the flight muscles. Now let us focus on flight muscles. Here you can see pectoralis major and the second is pectoralis minor. These pectoralis muscles are most important flight muscles, and these constitute about 15 to 25% of the total body weight of birds. Pectoralis major is considered to be the depressor muscle or helps in downstroke of the wings. Pectoralis minor is basically helping in upstroke or as acting as elevator of the wings. So muscles are attached in two parts. First is the keel of the sternum region and second is that of the humerus region. Simply focus on this beautiful wings of that of the bird. This wing have remiges or the wing feather. This wing is basically modification of forelimbs, and this wing helps in providing thrust or force against that of the pull of gravity as well as against that of the frictional force of air. The wing is concave below and convex in the upper side. Thereby, when they are convex on the upper side, the area becomes large and pressure gets reduced. The more air can travel with higher speed and thus lifts up the body. The concave or below side acts in opposite manner. Here you can see what the convex surface and concave surface actually means. The concave is below the surface of the wing, below surface of the wing is called concave, and that of the upper surface of the wing is called convex. This very nature of wing is being explained by Bernoulli's theorem of aerodynamics, which explains how the importance of air in reducing the importance of area in reducing that of the pressure of frictional drag. Now let us focus on that of the respiratory system in case of birds. You must appreciate the fact that I have already told you that flight mode of life is very much energy extensive. So obviously energy requirement is high, thereby rate of respiration will also be high, and the rate of aeration of lungs, that is the rate of passage of air within the lungs, and that of the not only the rate of respiration or breathing, rate of breathing is high, but also there is one mechanism that ensures that lung is get aerated, that is lung have optimum amount of oxygen not only during inhalation or inspiration but also during exhalation or expiration. This mechanism is ensured through that of the presence of numerous air sacs. Here you can see that of the cervical air sac, the interclavicular air sac, anterior thoracic air sac, posterior thoracic air sac, and that of the abdominal air sacs. All these air sacs are attached with that of the lungs. So one thing you must make sure to understand, that once the bird breathes, the air passes not only through lungs but also goes into that of the posterior thoracic air sac as well as to the abdominal air sacs. And during exhalation, what happens is the lungs from abdominal air sac and that of the posterior thoracic air sac goes into that of the lungs. So lungs get aerated both during exhalation as well as inspiration, and so this mode of respiration or this mode of breathing is called that of the cross double ventilation. And one thing that we have to understand is, unlike in case of human where we have presence of alveoli or small air sacs, birds have air capillaries, and so cross current mechanism of aeration is being maintained. Now let us focus on circulatory system of birds. The bird heart is completely four chambered. There is complete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. The oxygenated blood you can see is in left part of the heart, left atrium and left ventricle. The deoxygenated blood is in right part of the heart, that is right atrium and right ventricle. This very complete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood ensures complete oxygenation of body and also ensures homeothermy. It also ensures that optimum amount of oxygen is reaching to every cells of the body in very less time, and so there is tremendous amount of energy is being produced in every cells of the body, which is very much essential for flight mode of life. The high energy demand is also made by several kind of physiological modifications. The digestive system of bird is highly efficient, that is the digestion get complete within within very less time. Also the bird is very much judicious when it comes to how they have to choose their diet. They rely on basically that kind of the highly energy food, high energy food like that of the fruits, nuts and grains and other things, meat, insects and other things. They don't rely on obviously the fast foods that we eat upon. For digestion they have several kinds of enzyme. They have also a storage organ that is called crop for storage. When they are in flight mode, they will not just go and sit anywhere to just have a food. They have to wait for longer time, so they have crop for storage purpose. Also they have gizzard for purpose of grinding and breaking the food in simpler parts so that it can be easily digested. So thereby the gizzard helps in acts as a that of the teeth, which is absent in case of bird's beak. Regarding sense organ, birds rely heavily on their eyes rather than anything else. They have elaborate eyes, they have elaborate optic lobes in the cerebrum or forebrain part, and they have incipient kind of olfactory lobes. That is, they can't rely on their olfaction because they are very much far from their prey or any kind of danger which is obviously at the surface of the earth. So they don't rely on olfaction, rather than they rely on that of the eyes. So their eyes, that is the retina, have numerous photoreceptor cells. Also they have pectine in eyes, which is meant for sharper vision. One thing that is also important in case of bird's brain is presence of highly elaborate and efficient cerebellum, that is hindbrain part. This hindbrain part is basically meant for making balance and change in giving sense of direction when birds are in flight mode. The flight mode of life is not very easy. So they have in that of the pectoralis muscle, they have myoglobin that and the muscles are red in color because of presence of myoglobin, and these muscles are highly energy intensive. They have efficient stamina, efficient kind of the metabolic activity which is being utilized for which is being utilized without getting fatigued. In our case, we can easily get fatigue if we run for a farther for say 2 to 3 kilometer. Once a person can get fatigued just because of deposition of lactic acid, just because we rely on, or our muscles rely on, anaerobic respiration. In case of birds, birds rely or their muscles rely heavily on aerobic respiration, which is made sure by that of the presence of myoglobin, which is oxygen storing protein. And this become more important for birds which have. Now here you can see a simple good looking bird which is flying, and this is made sure by various things which I have already explained. Other things that you can keep in mind, that apart from that of the reducing weight and providing energy, and other ways to reduce weight is presence of only one ovary, the metanephric kidney, which chiefly excretes uric acid, which again ensures that bird doesn't have to drink lot of water, as any other mode of excretion, that is ammonia or urea, requires lot of water for excretion. What we all learned today is how the birds, what are the basic challenges that birds have to face while they are flying, and also how they have cope up with those kind of challenges. This is all from my part. I am Mugdha, and I would like to thank all of you for having a patient listening.